In the suffocating heat of a Chicago summer, struggling single dad. Daniel Harper dives into a broken AC crisis at Sterling Heights Hotel, speaking 7 languages to save the day, only to catch the eye of CEO Olivia Carter, who sees a hero in his quiet sacrifice for his diabetic daughter, Sophie. Before we unfold this tale, please hit that like button to support their journey. Thank you for being here. The air in Sterling Heights Hotel was a living thing, thick, heavy, suffocating. July 1996 had Chicago in a chokehold, the kind of heat that made asphalt shimmer and tempers flare. Outside, the city baked under a record-breaking sun. Inside, the grand lobby polished marble. Crystal chandeliers was a different kind of inferno. The central air conditioning had failed. Just stopped, dead. Right in the middle of the Global Trade Summit, voices clashed in the S lobby. A dozen languages, all sharp with frustration. A Brazilian lawyer in a tailored suit waved his hands, shouting in Portuguese. A Chinese executive, her silk blouse damp, spoke rapid Mandarin into a phone. A young Russian girl, maybe 7 kids, clung to her mother's skirt. Eyes wide, lost in the noise. The front desk was a battlefield. 3 receptionists, barely out of college, stood behind the counter, their smiles cracking. "I'm so sorry." "Sir," said Mia, the youngest, her voice thin. "We're working on it, I promise." She didn't know if they were. No one did. The maintenance alert had gone out 30 minutes ago, but the heat was winning. A British diplomat loosened his tie, barking. "This is unacceptable. Do you know who's here today?" Mia nodded, helpless. "Yes, sir. We're trying. Trying isn't enough." He snapped. The crowd pressed closer. A French couple muttered about leaving. The Russian girl started to cry. Soft, hiccuping sobs. Mia's hands shook as she dialed maintenance again. No answer. The lobby was a powder keg, ready to blow. Then, a quiet sound. A door clicked open. From the service corridor, a man stepped out. He didn't look like a hero. Daniel Harper, mid-30s, wore a navy work shirt, oil-stained at the cuffs. His jeans were faded, his boots scuffed. A toolbox hung from his shoulder, and his hazel eyes scanned the room. Calm but tired, he moved like someone who'd learned to stay out of the way. Mia spotted him. "Daniel." "Thank God. The HVAC's down." "Code red." He nodded, his voice low. "Got the alert. Main ducts in the ceiling, right? Above the lobby." "Yeah," she said, pointing vaguely. "Just hurry, please." He gave her a small nod, already moving toward the utility panel. His boots echoed, steady, against the marble. The chaos didn't pause for him. The Brazilian lawyer shouted louder. The Chinese executive hung up. Exasperated, the Russian girl's mother knelt, whispering, but the crying didn't stop. Daniel climbed a ladder, toolbox open, hands working, wires sparked, tools clinked. He was focused, humming softly a tune his daughter, Sophie, loved. Above it all, on the mezzanine floor, Olivia Carter stood behind tinted glass. The CEO of Sterling Heights, 42, sharp in a charcoal blazer, watched the scene unfold. Her dark eyes narrowed, her tablet glowing with alerts. HVAC failure, guest complaints rising, PR risk high. She'd come down to assess the damage, expecting a mess. But this was chaos. Her hotel, her legacy was unraveling. Olivia's fingers tapped her earpiece. "Who's on maintenance?" she asked, her voice like steel. Her assistant's voice crackled. "Checking now, Daniel Harper. Night shift tech. He's on it." "Harper," Olivia repeated, her brow furrowing. She didn't know the name. She didn't know him. Why would she? CEOs don't notice men who fix pipes. But as she leaned against the railing, her eyes locked on Daniel below. He wasn't just working. He was listening, The French couple had moved closer to the ladder, their voices rising. C'est insupportable, the man said, gesturing at the ceiling. Daniel paused, looking down. Je comprends. Monsieur, he said, his French soft but clear. It's almost fixed. Give me 5 minutes. The man blinked, startled, then nodded. Stepping back, his wife exhaled, fanning herself. Olivia froze, her breath catching. Did he just, Daniel climbed down, wiping his hands. The Russian mother approached, her voice urgent, pointing at her daughter. Daniel knelt, eye level with the girl. Privet, he said gently. His Russian warm. It's okay. The air's coming back. Want to see how it works. The girl sniffed, then nodded, her tears slowing. He pointed to the vents, explaining something simple, her mother's face softening. Olivia's heart thudded. She leaned closer to the glass, her tablet forgotten. Daniel stood, moving to the Chinese executive, Dui Buki. He said, his Mandarin careful but fluent. We're almost there. Can I get you water? The woman stared, then nodded, her anger easing. One by one, he spoke, Spanish to the Mexican diplomat, Italian to the waiter rushing by, Japanese to a businessman pacing nearby, Portuguese to the Brazilian lawyer, who actually smiled, clapping Daniel's shoulder. The lobby quieted, not silent, but calm. People still sweated, but the edge was gone. They weren't a mob anymore. They were people. Seen, heard. Daniel didn't notice. He was back at the panel, hands deep in wires. A low groan rumbled through the ceiling. Then a hiss. Cold air poured from the vents. A cheer broke out. Someone clapped. The Russian girl giggled, pointing. He did it, she said, her English halting. Daniel looked up, gave a small wave, then packed his tools. He headed for the corridor, unnoticed again. His job done. Olivia stood, stunned. Her hands gripped her face, her heart racing. Who was this man? She'd seen boardrooms, million-dollar campaigns, but nothing like this. This was raw, real, human. She tapped her earpiece again. Get me Harper's file. Now, in her office. Olivia sat, the city skyline dark behind her. The air was cool now, the crisis over our yet, but her mind was on Daniel. His file lay open on her tablet. Daniel Harper, 35, single parent, education, M.A. in linguistics, University of Chicago. Previous, teaching assistant, Chicago. Reason for night shift, family medical needs, child. Sophia Harper, age 9, type 1 diabetes. Olivia's eyes lingered on the last line. Diabetes, type 1. She didn't know what it meant, not really, but she knew what it cost. Hospital visits, insulin, constant worry. She thought of Daniel's eyes, tired, steady, carrying a weight she couldn't imagine. Why was a linguist here? Fixing ducts. Why hide that? She scrolled further. A note from HR. Overqualified. Requested nights for flexibility. Background clean. Quiet. Reliable. Quiet. Reliable. Her thoughts spiraled. She'd built Sterling Heights on precision, profit, distance. She didn't know her staff. Didn't need to. But now, Daniel's face, his voice, his calm stuck with her. She tapped her intercom. Mia. My office. Mia arrived. Nervous, still in her headset. Yes, Miss Carter. The tech last night. Harper. You saw him with the guests. Mia nodded. Hesitant. Yeah, he handled it. Spoke to them. A lot of them. Olivia's eyes narrowed. You don't sound thrilled. Mia shifted. He's good. Sure, but I don't know. It felt like a show, like he wanted everyone to notice. Olivia frowned. A show. Yeah, Mia said. Softer. Some guys know how to look good when it matters. Olivia didn't respond. She dismissed Mia with a nod, her mind turning. Was it a show? She thought of Daniel, kneeling by the girl, his quiet wave. If he wanted attention, he'd have stayed, bragged. He didn't. He vanished. She stood, pacing. The file stared back. Linguist. Father. Night shift. She thought of her own father, distant, driven, always chasing power, never there. Daniel was the opposite, present, steady, for Sophie. Olivia sat, her hands still. She didn't know why she cared. She didn't get involved. Not with staff, not with anyone. But something about Daniel, his quiet, his strength pulled at her. She tapped her tablet, scheduling a service call. A flickering light in her office, an excuse. She needed to see him again. The next day, Daniel knocked on Olivia's door, toolbox in hand. His shirt was clean, his hair slightly messy, his eyes cautious but kind. You called for a light issue. Ma'am, Olivia nodded, gesturing to the ceiling. It's been flickering. Annoying. He moved to the panel, ladder in place, hands steady. Olivia watched, her arms crossed. He worked in silence, focused. The hum of the building around them. She broke the quiet. You were something else last night. He paused, glancing down. Thank you. Ma'am? Olivia. She corrected, softer. You spoke, what? 7 languages. He shrugged, tightening a bulb. Just what they needed to hear. Her brow lifted. You studied linguistics. University of Chicago. He froze, then nodded. Climbing down. Yeah. A while back. Why are you here? She asked, blunt. Fixing lights. You could be teaching. Writing. Daniel met her eyes. Steady. My daughter, Sophie. She's 9. Type 1 diabetes. Needs me home days. Needs steady insurance. This job gives both. Olivia's chest tightened. She nodded. Slow. I'm sorry. About Sophie. He smiled. Faint. She's tougher than me. Makes it worth it. Silence fell. Not heavy, but real. Olivia studied him. No bitterness. No ego. Just truth. You fixed the light, he said. Packing up. Just needed a nudge. She raised an eyebrow. How's that? You called, he said. Simple. That's the first step. He left, the door clicking shut. Olivia stood, staring at the light. It didn't flicker anymore, but something in her did. That night, the hotel hummed, its rhythm back. Guests laughed in the bar. Elevators dinged. Bellhops nodded. Daniel was in the basement, checking a boiler. Alone. His radio crackled another call. Another fix. He didn't mind. It was his world. Quiet. Steady for Sophie. In her office, Olivia sat, the city glowing below. She held Daniel's file, her fingers tracing his name. She thought of Sophie, a girl she'd never met, fighting a battle bigger than her. She thought of Daniel, giving up a career for love. She thought of herself alone, successful, untouchable. Her phone buzzed. A message from PR. Summit guests praising staff response. Mentioned a tech who spoke their language. Olivia smiled. Small. She typed a reply. Find out who they're talking about. Credit where it's due. She leaned back, the city lights blurring. Daniel Harper wasn't just a tech. He was a man who'd reminded her of something she'd forgotten. Heart. Humanity. Hope. But trouble was coming. Whispers in the staff room. Plans in the boardroom. A machine that didn't need men like Daniel. And Olivia, for the first time, wasn't sure she could stop it. What's next for Daniel, Sophie, and Olivia? Will kindness outshine ambition? Or will the system grind them down? Tell us where you're listening from in the comments below. It warms our hearts to know these stories reach you. The Sterling Heights Hotel buzzed with its usual rhythm, the kind that made Chicago feel alive, even at dawn. Elevators hummed, room service carts rattled, and the lobby's grand fountain gurgled softly. Daniel Harper moved through the basement corridors, his toolbox a familiar weight on his shoulder. The fluorescent lights flickered above, casting long shadows on the concrete. Last night's chaos, the broken AC, the shouting guests, the languages he'd pulled from memory was behind him, or so he thought. His shift was nearly over, the clock ticking towards 6 hours a.m. He just needed to check the boiler pressure. Then home to Sophie. Her insulin pump had been acting up, and he'd promised to call the clinic today. He knelt by the boiler, gauge in hand, his mind half on Sophie's laugh, half on the hiss of steam. The radio at his hip crackled. "Harper, you still down there?" It was Mia, the receptionist. Her voice tight. "Yeah," he said, keying the mic. "What's up? Need you in the East Wing. 3rd floor. Thermostats out in 312. Guests complaining." Daniel sighed, wiping his brow. "On it. Give me 10. He packed his tools, the weight of another call settling in. Night shifts were long, but they let him walk Sophie to school, be there for her injections, her checkups. That was enough. It had to be. He took the service elevator, the hum filling the quiet. His reflection in the metal doors looked older than 35 lines around his eyes. Hair dusted with gray. Sophie's illness did that. Not the work. Never the work. The 3rd floor was silent, the carpet thick under his boots. Room 312's door was ajar, a do not disturb sign ignored. He knocked, soft. "Maintenance," he called. No answer. He pushed the door open. The room dark except for a sliver of dawn through the blinds. The thermostat was on the far wall, its display blank. He set his toolbox down, pulling a screwdriver. The guest wasn't here, probably at breakfast, or complaining downstairs. He worked fast, resetting the unit, testing the vents. Cool air whispered out, "Done." As he packed up, a voice cut through. "You're the guy from last night." Daniel turned, startled. A man stood in the doorway, mid-50s. Italian suit, gray hair slicked back. His accent was faint, maybe German. Daniel hadn't seen him in the lobby, but the summit drew all types. "Sir," Daniel said, standing, toolbox in hand. "The linguist," the man said, stepping closer. "Spanish, French, Japanese, impressive. You calmed my colleague down." Hair Klein. "He's not easily swayed." Daniel nodded. "Cautious, just doing my job." "Sir," the man smiled. Thin. "No. You did more. I'm Hans Weber, trade consultant. I'd like to know your name." "Daniel Harper," he said, shifting. Something about Weber's eyes, sharp. Calculating set him on edge. "Daniel." Weber repeated, like tasting the word. "A man like you, speaking 7 languages, fixing machines. You're wasted here. Ever consider consulting? My firm could use someone with your presence." Daniel's jaw tightened. "I'm good here, Mr. Weber. Got a kid to look after." Weber's smile didn't falter. "Of course. Family first. But think on it. Talent like yours deserves better." He pulled a card from his pocket, holding it out. Daniel took it, glancing at the embossed text. Weber and Associates. Global Trade Solutions. He pocketed it, nodding. "Safe travels." "Sir," Daniel said, moving past. Weber's gaze followed him out. In the elevator, Daniel exhaled, the card heavy in his pocket. Consulting. Better pay, maybe, but nights away, unpredictable hours. Sophie needed him close. He shook it off, heading for the basement to clock out. The day was waiting Sophie's school, the clinic, groceries. No time for dreams. Upstairs, Olivia Carter's office was a fortress of glass and steel. The Chicago skyline stretched beyond her window, Lake Michigan glinting under the morning sun. She sat at her desk, Coffee untouched. Daniel's file still open on her tablet. She'd read it twice since last night, each line pulling at her. Single parent, type 1 diabetes, MA in linguistics. She didn't know why it mattered. She didn't want it to matter, but it did. Her intercom buzzed. Mrs. Carter. Mr. Reynolds is here. Her assistant, Jenna, sounded nervous. Send him in, Olivia said, closing the file. Paul Reynolds, her operations director, strode in 50s. Broad-shouldered, all business. His tie was too tight, his smile too practiced. Morning, Olivia, he said, sitting. Heard about last night's mess. Summit guests are happy now. Though, some tech saved the day. Daniel Harper, she said, her voice even. He fixed the AC and de-escalated the situation. Reynolds nodded. Dismissive, good man. But we can't rely on heroics. I've got a proposal automation for maintenance, AI diagnostics, remote alerts. Cuts labor costs by 15%. Chicago's our test site. Olivia's fingers stilled on her pen. Automation. Yeah, Reynolds said, sliding a folder across. We've got vendors lined up. Systems like Harper's work boilers. HVAC can run themselves. Night shifts half redundant already. She opened the folder. Charts and graphs staring back. Cost savings. Wallard, 2M annually. Staff reduction, 12 roles. Her eyes flicked to a name on the list. Harper. Daniel. Non-essential. Her stomach twisted. Non-essential, she said, sharp. He handled a PR disaster last night, in 7 languages. Reynolds shrugged. Impressive. Sure, but machines don't need linguistics. We keep a few techs for emergencies, but the rest? Obsolete. Business. Olivia, not personal. She closed the folder, her face neutral. I'll review it. Anything else? He stood, sensing the dismissal. Just keep it in mind. Board's watching costs. The door clicked shut. Olivia leaned back, her eyes on the skyline. Non-essential. The word burned. She thought of Daniel, his hands on the wires. His voice soothing the Russian girl. Obsolete. He was the opposite. Vital. Human. She tapped her intercom. Jenna, get me Harper's supervisor. I want a performance review. Daniel reached his apartment. A small walk-up in Wicker Park. The stairs creaked. The air smelled of coffee and dust. Sophie was at the kitchen table. Her insulin pump clipped to her jeans. A math worksheet half done. Her brown curls bounced as she looked up, her grin wide. Dad, you're late. He laughed, dropping his toolbox. Blame a thermostat. You eat. Yep, she said, pointing to a cereal bowl. Granola. Low sugar. I checked. Good girl, he said, kissing her forehead. He checked her pump's display levels stable. For now, clinic at 10. You ready? She groaned. Dramatic. Boring. Can we get donuts after? Maybe, he said, winking. If you don't charm the nurse too much, she giggled. Grabbing her backpack, Daniel watched her. His heart full but heavy. Sophie was his world, her laugh. Her questions, her fight. Type 1 meant constant vigilance. Blood sugar checks. Insulin doses. Hospital scares. He'd left teaching for her. Taken nights at Sterling Heights for the insurance. It wasn't a sacrifice. It was love. At the clinic, Sophie sat on the exam table, swinging her legs. The doctor, a tired woman named Dr. Lee, checked her chart. Levels look okay, she said, scribbling. Pumps due for a recalibration. Insurance cover it. Daniel nodded, though he wasn't sure. I'll call them. Doctor. Lee glanced at Sophie. You're doing great. Kiddo, keep checking those sugars. Sophie grinned. I'm a pro. Outside, Daniel held her hand. The sun warm. Donuts, she asked. Hopeful. He laughed. One. Small. Deal. Deal, she said. Skipping ahead. At the bakery, she picked a chocolate glazed, nibbling it slow. Her meter checked twice. Daniel sipped coffee. Watching her, moments like this simple, safe were why he stayed invisible. No spotlight. Just Sophie. His phone buzzed. A text from Mia. Boss wants you in at 2. Meeting. Daniel frowned. He was off today. Everything okay? Sophie asked, chocolate on her chin. Yeah, bug, he said, ruffling her hair. Just work stuff at Sterling Heights. Daniel walked into the staff lounge, his boots heavy on the tiles. The room smelled of stale coffee and bleach. Mia was there, sorting schedules, her eyes avoiding his. What's this about? He asked. Leaning against the counter, she shrugged. Too casual. Mint. Carter's meeting with supervisors. Guess you're on the list. Carter, he said, surprised. The CEO. Yup, Mia said. Her voice clipped. Must be nice. Getting noticed. Daniel's brow furrowed. What's that mean? She looked up. Her smile tight. Nothing. Just, you're the star now, right? Mr. 7 languages. He exhaled, sensing the edge. Mia, I was just doing my job. Sure, she said. Turning away. See you in there. The meeting room was small, its table scratched. A flickering light overhead. Daniel sat, his hands folded, feeling out of place. Across from him was his supervisor, Tom, a grizzled man who smelled of cigarettes. Olivia Carter entered, her blazer crisp, her presence commanding. Daniel straightened, his pulse quickening. Mr. Harper, she said, sitting. Thank you for coming, ma'am. He nodded, cautious. Olivia, she corrected. Her eyes steady. Tom cleared his throat. Dan solid. Miss. Carter. No complaints. Works hard. Keeps quiet. Olivia nodded, her tablet open. Last night's summit incident. You resolved it. How? Daniel shifted. AC was a clogged duct. Easy fix. The guests, they were upset. I just talked to them. Made them feel heard. In 7 languages. She said, her voice low. He shrugged. Helps when you know what they're saying. Tom chuckled. Kid's a regular UN down there. Olivia didn't smile. Your file says you taught at Chicago. Why leave? Daniel's jaw tightened. My daughter, Sophie. She's got type 1. Needed me more than the classroom did. Olivia's eyes softened. Just for a moment. I see, and this job, it's enough. He met her gaze, honest. It's what she needs. That's enough. She nodded, slow. Thank you, Daniel. Tom, I'll follow up. Tom left, grumbling about paperwork. Olivia stayed, her hands clasped. You're good at what you do, she said. Better than most. Thank you, he said, standing. Anything else? She hesitated, then shook her head. Not now. Keep up the work, he nodded. Leaving, the door clicking shut. Olivia sat, alone, her mind racing. Daniel wasn't just good. He was exceptional, and Reynolds wanted him gone. She wouldn't let that happen. Not yet. That night, Daniel tucked Sophie into bed, her room lit by a star-shaped lamp. Her insulin pump beeped softly, its tube taped to her side. Dad, she said, sleepy. You look worried, he smiled, brushing her curls. Just tired. Bug, sleep tight. Love you, she mumbled, eyes closing. Love you more, he said, kissing her forehead. In the kitchen, he sat, Weber's card on the table, consulting. The word teased him. Money. Travel. Risk. He crumpled the card, tossing it in the trash. Sophie was his anchor. No card could change that. At Sterling Heights, Olivia stood on the mezzanine, the lobby quiet below. The fountain gleamed. The air cool. She thought of Daniel, his hands, his voice, his sacrifice. She thought of Reynolds' proposal, the board's pressure. Profit over people. She'd always played that game. But now, Daniel's face made her question it. Her phone buzzed, a voicemail from a guest. Hans Weber. Mrs. Carter. His voice was smooth. Your technician, Harper, is remarkable. I'd like to discuss a business opportunity. For him, and perhaps for you. Olivia frowned, replaying it. Opportunity. Weber's tone was too polished, too hungry. She deleted it. Her eyes on the lobby. Daniel was hers to protect. For now, the next morning, Daniel walked Sophie to school, her backpack bouncing. Dad, she said, can we go to the lake this weekend? Just us. He grinned. If your sugars play nice. Yeah, she beamed, hugging him. You're the best. He watched her run inside, his heart full. Back at the apartment, he called the clinic. Sorting the pump issue, insurance was a maze, but he'd navigate it. He always did. At Sterling Heights, Olivia met with Reynolds again. His proposal thicker now. We're moving forward, he said, confident. Automation's the future. Board loves it. Olivia's eyes were cold. And Harper? Reynolds shrugged. Good guy. But replaceable. Will offer severance. She stood, her voice sharp. Not yet. I want data. Guest feedback. Impact analysis. Reynolds blinked, surprised. Olivia, this is non-negotiable, she cut in. Get it done. He left, muttering. Olivia sat, her hands trembling. She didn't know why she was fighting, but Daniel's face, Sophie's name wouldn't let her stop. Daniel's shift started at 10 hours p.m. The hotel quieter now. He checked the HVAC logs, his mind on Sophie's pump. Mia passed him in the hall, her smile gone. Big meeting tomorrow, she said, cold. Heard your name came up. He frowned. What's going on, Mia? She shrugged. Ask the boss. Seems you're her favorite. She walked off, leaving him uneasy. In the basement, he found Tom smoking by the boiler. What's with Mia? Daniel asked, grabbing a wrench. Tom exhaled. Grim? Words out. Automation's coming. Your stunt with the guests got Carter's attention. Some folks think you're cozying up. Daniel's gut twisted. I didn't ask for that. Doesn't matter, Tom said. Jealousy's a bitch. Daniel worked in silence, the wrench heavy, cozying up. He just wanted to do his job. Go home to Sophie. But the whispers were spreading, and he felt them closing in. Olivia couldn't sleep. At 2 hours a.m., she walked the hotel's lower levels. The hum of pipes, her only company. She passed the maintenance bay, Daniel's locker catching her eye. A photo was taped inside Sophie, grinning, a red balloon in hand. Olivia's throat tightened. She thought of her own childhood, her father's absence. Daniel was different, present, real. She returned to her office, pulling Weber's number. She dialed, her voice steady. Mr. Weber, it's Olivia Carter. What's your interest in Daniel Harper? Weber chuckled, smooth. A talent like his, I'd be foolish not to notice. My firm needs men who can bridge cultures. And you, Mrs. Carter, you'd benefit from a partnership. Olivia's eyes narrowed. I don't need partners. Think it over, he said. Harper's too good for your basement, and you know it. She hung up, her hands shaking. Weber wanted Daniel. Reynolds wanted him gone. And she wanted him to stay, for the hotel, for herself. She didn't know why, but the feeling wouldn't leave. Daniel finished his shift. The sky gray outside. He walked home, The city waking. Sophie would be up soon. Her meter waiting. He thought of Mia's words. Tom's warning. Attention was dangerous. He'd learned that in academia publish, shine, get cut. He'd chosen shadows for Sophie. But now, the light was finding him. At home. Sophie was at the table, drawing a rocket. For you, she said, holding it up. So you can fix the moon. He laughed, hugging her. Moon's fine. Bug, just needs you. She giggled, but her pump beeped low battery. He swapped it, his hands steady, his mind not. The meeting, the whispers, Olivia's eyes. Something was coming, and he wasn't ready. Olivia stood in the boardroom. Reynolds' data spread out. Guest feedback glowed. Technicians spoke my language. Felt like home. Daniel's name was everywhere. She closed the file, her decision made. She'd fight for him, but Weber's call lingered. And Mia's resentment, and the board's greed. The hotel was a machine, and Daniel was its heart. Could she save it? She looked out. The lobby below alive. Daniel was there, toolbox in hand, heading for a call. He didn't see her. He never did. But she saw him, and that was enough. For now, the Sterling Heights Hotel stood like a beacon against Chicago's gray dawn, its glass facade catching the first light of July 1996. Inside, the lobby hummed with quiet purpose, bellhops gliding, guests sipping coffee, the fountain's soft gurgle masking the tension simmering beneath. Daniel Harper moved through the basement, his toolbox a steady weight, his boots echoing on the concrete. The night shift had been long. A string of small fixes, a stuck elevator, a leaking pipe, a buzzing light. His hands were steady, but his mind wasn't. Mia's sharp words, Tom's warning about automation, and Olivia Carter's piercing gaze lingered like smoke. Something was shifting, and he felt it in his bones. He checked the HVAC logs, the hum of the system grounding him. Sophie's face flashed in his mind, her curls, her grin, her insulin pump's soft beep. She'd had a good night, her sugars stable, but the clinic's warning about her pump's battery life gnawed at him. He'd call today, sort it out. He always did. The radio crackled. Harper, you free? It was Tom, his voice gruff. Yeah, Daniel said, keying the mic. What's up? Second floor. Conference room, B. AC's acting up again. Summit's back on today, Daniel sighed, grabbing his tools. On my way. The service elevator rattled, the air stale. He thought of Hans Weber's card, crumpled in his trash. Consulting, money, risk. Sophie needed him here, not chasing dreams. The elevator dinged, and he stepped into the second floor's plush hallway, the carpet muffling his steps. Conference room B was packed trade delegates in suits, their voices a mix of English, Spanish, Mandarin. The air was warm, the vents silent. Daniel set his toolbox down, climbing a ladder to check the duct. Sweat beaded on his neck, the heat pressing in. A voice cut through. You're the technician. Yes, it was Weber. His suit crisp, his German accent smooth. He stood below, hands clasped. Smiling, Daniel nodded, focused on the wires. Yes, sir. Be done soon. Weber tilted his head. You work fast. Daniel, a rare skill. Have you considered my offer? Daniel's hand paused. The screwdriver still. I'm good here. Mr. Weber. Weber chuckled, low. For now, perhaps. But men like you, they don't stay in basements forever. Daniel didn't answer. His jaw tight. He reset the vent. Cold air hissing out. The room sighed in relief. Voices softening. He climbed down. Packing up. Weber watched. His eyes sharp. Think on it, he said, slipping another card into Daniel's toolbox. For your daughter. Daniel froze, his pulse spiking. What do you know about my daughter? Weber's smile didn't waver. Only that you're a good father. Good fathers want more. He walked away. Melting into the crowd, Daniel stared at the card, his hands shaking. Weber knew too much. How? Why? He pocketed it, his gut churning, and left the room. Upstairs, Olivia Carter stood in her office, the skyline a blur beyond her glass walls. Her tablet glowed with Reynolds' automation proposal, graphs screaming efficiency. Staff reduction, 12 roles. Harper, Daniel. Non-essential. The word burned. A lie she couldn't stomach. Daniel wasn't non-essential. He was the pulse of this place. She thought of his hands on the AC, his voice calming the Russian girl, his quiet truth in her office. It's what she needs. That's enough. Her intercom buzzed. Mrs. Carter. Mia's here, Jenna said. Tentative. Send her in. Olivia replied, closing the tablet. Mia entered, her headset dangling, her eyes guarded. You wanted to see me. Olivia nodded, leaning back. The summit feedback. Guest mentioned a technician. Daniel Harper. You worked with him that night. Thoughts. Mia's lips thinned. He's good at fixing things. And yeah, the language thing was surprising. But it's not like he's the only one who could have handled it. Olivia's brow lifted. You think he overstepped? Mia hesitated, then shrugged. I think he knows how to stand out. Some people are good at that. Olivia studied her, sensing the resentment. Mia, if you've got something to say it. Mia's eyes flicked up, sharp. He's got you all impressed. Hasn't he, Miss Carter? No offense. But guys like Daniel, they know when to play the hero. It's not always real. Olivia's fingers stilled on her desk. You're saying he's manipulative. I'm saying he's smart, Mia said. Careful. He sees an opportunity. He takes it. Like with you. Olivia's chest tightened, but her face stayed neutral. Thank you, Mia. That's all. Mia left, the door clicking shut. Olivia exhaled, her mind spinning. Was Mia right? Was Daniel playing a game? She thought of his eyes, tired, honest, carrying Sophie's weight. No, Mia was wrong. But the doubt lingered, a crack in her certainty. She tapped her intercom. Jenna, get me Tom, and schedule a walkthrough. Lower levels. Today, Daniel reached his apartment, the morning sun filtering through cracked blinds. Sophie was at school, her rocket drawing taped to the fridge. He sank onto the couch, Weber's card in hand. For your daughter, Sophie. The words chilled him. He didn't trust Weber, but the offer gnawed. Better insurance, specialists for Sophie. Stability. He tossed the card on the table, rubbing his eyes. No, he was enough. They were enough. His phone rang. The clinic's number. Mr. Harper, the nurse said. Sophie's pump needs a replacement. Insurance is pushing back. You'll need to appeal. Daniel's stomach dropped. How much out of pocket? About 2,000, she said. Soft. We can set up a plan. He nodded, numb. Yeah, I'll call them. Thanks. He hung up. The room too quiet. 2,000. His savings were thin, stretched by copays. Groceries. Rent. He thought of Weber's card. Its promise. He pushed it away, standing. He'd figure it out. He always did. At noon, he walked to Sophie's school, her grin erasing the weight for a moment. Dad, she called, running into his arms. We learned about Mars today. Cool. Bug, he said, hugging her. Tell me all about it. They walked home, Sophie chattering about rovers and red dust. At the apartment, she checked her sugar 140s. Good while Daniel made sandwiches. Dad, she said, munching. Are you okay? You're all quiet. He smiled, forced. Just thinking. Work stuff. She tilted her head. You fix everything. What's wrong? He laughed. Soft. You're too smart. You know that. She grinned. Peanut butter on her chin. Yep. After lunch, Daniel tucked her in for a nap. Her pump humming. He sat at the kitchen table. Insurance papers spread out. The appeal form was a maze, but he'd fight it. For Sophie. His phone buzzed a text from Tom. Carter's doing a walkthrough. Wants you there? 3 hours p.m. Daniel frowned. Olivia again. Why? He thought of Mia's jab. Tom's warning. Attention was trouble, but he couldn't say no. At Sterling Heights, Olivia walked the basement with Tom. Her heels clicking on the concrete. The air was cool. The pipes humming. She'd never been down here. Not really. This was Daniel's world boilers. Wires. Shadows. Tom pointed out systems. His voice gruff. HVAC solid now, thanks to Harper. Kid's got a knack. Olivia nodded. Her eyes scanning. He's reliable. Like a damn clock, Tom said. Quiet, too. Doesn't stir shit. She smiled. Faint. Good. They reached the maintenance bay, Daniel waiting by his locker. His shirt was clean, his eyes cautious. Miss Carter, he said, nodding. Tom, Daniel, Olivia said, her voice warm. Walk with us. He fell in step, toolbox in hand. Olivia noticed his hands calloused. Steady, a faint scar on his knuckles. You've been here 2 years, she said. Casual. Like it. It's steady, he said. Simple. Pays the bills. Tom snorted. Understatement. You saved our ass last week. Daniel shrugged, his eyes on the floor. Just did what needed doing. Olivia watched him, her chest tight. No ego, no show. Mia was wrong. They passed a boiler. Its gauge ticking. This your work? She asked, pointing. Yeah, he said, checking it. Pressure's good. Should hold. She nodded. Impressed. You make it look easy. He met her eyes. Brief. It's not, but you learn. They walked on, Tom rattling off stats. Olivia half listened, her focus on Daniel. He moved like he belonged here, like the hotel's pulse was his own. She thought of Reynolds' list. Daniel's name crossed out. She wouldn't let it happen. At the end of the tour, Tom peeled off, grumbling about paperwork. Olivia and Daniel stood by the elevator, alone. You're good at this, she said. Soft. Better than good. He shifted, uneasy. Thanks. Just doing my job. She stepped closer, her voice low. You're more than your job, Daniel. You know that, right? His eyes flicked up, startled. I'm what Sophie needs. That's all. Olivia nodded, her throat tight. She's lucky to have you. He smiled. Faint. I'm the lucky one. The elevator dinged, breaking the moment. He stepped in, nodding. See you, Olivia. She watched the doors close, her heart racing. She didn't know why she'd said that. She didn't get close. Not to anyone. But Daniel was different. Dangerous, that night. Daniel worked the boiler room, the heat pressing in. His radio stayed quiet, but his mind didn't. Weber's card. The pump's cost. Olivia's words. You're more than your job. Shouts. He shook it off, focusing on the gauge. Steady. Like him. In the staff lounge, Mia sat with 2 other receptionists, their voices low. He's got Carter wrapped. One said, smirking, Mr. Hero. Mia frowned, stirring her coffee. He's not bad, just convenient. Convenient, the other scoffed. He's playing her. Watch. Daniel passed the door, catching their whispers. He kept walking, his jaw tight. Playing her. He didn't want this. any of it. But the whispers followed. A shadow he couldn't shake. Olivia couldn't sleep. At midnight, she walked to the hotel. The lobby dark, the fountain silent. She thought of Daniel's hands, Sophie's name, Weber's offer. She'd checked Weber's firm legit, but aggressive. He wanted Daniel, but why? Talent or leverage? She didn't trust him. Her phone buzzed. A text from Reynolds. Board wants automation update. Tomorrow. She exhaled, her hands cold. She couldn't stall forever, but Daniel's face, his quiet strength, made her want to try. She passed the maintenance bay, Daniel's locker open. Sophie's photo smiled back, her red balloon bright. Olivia's chest ached. She thought of her mother, gone too young, her father's cold ambition. Daniel was the opposite, warm, real. She wanted to protect that. But how? The next morning, Daniel walked Sophie to school, her hand in his. "Dad," she said, "you're all serious again." He laughed, soft, just thinking. "Bug, you okay?" "Yep," she said, swinging his arm. "Can we get ice cream later?" "If your sugars cooperate," he said. Winking, she grinned. Running inside, Daniel watched, his heart full. Back home, he tackled the insurance appeal, the phone a lifeline. "We're reviewing it," the rep said. "Bored. Could take weeks." Daniel nodded, numb. Weeks. He thought of Weber's card. It's wait. No. He'd find another way. At Sterling Heights, Olivia met Reynolds in the boardroom, his laptop open. "Data's in," he said, sliding a report. "Guests love Harper." "Sure, but automation's cheaper." Board's leaning hard. Olivia scanned it, her eyes cold. "And the human cost?" Reynolds shrugged. "Severance, retraining, standard." She stood, sharp. "Not good enough. I want alternatives." He blinked, stunned. "Olivia, this is my call." She cut in. "Find them." He left. Fuming, Olivia sat, alone. Daniel's file open. She thought of Sophie, her fight. She thought of Daniel, his sacrifice. She tapped her phone, dialing a number. "Dr. Patel." "Olivia Carter. I need a favor." "It's about a patient, Sophia Harper." Daniel's shift started at dusk, the hotel alive with summit guests. He fixed a light in the ballroom, the chandeliers glinting. Weber was there, watching a presentation, his eyes flicking to Daniel. He smiled, nodding. Daniel turned away, his gut cold. In the basement, Tom clapped his shoulder. "Carter's fighting for you. Kid, don't screw it up." Daniel frowned. "Fighting? Why?" Tom exhaled. "Grim. Automation's coming. Your job's on the chopping block." Daniel's chest tightened. "And Olivia, she's stalling," Tom said, "but she can't hold forever." Daniel nodded, numb. He thought of Sophie, her pump, the bills. He thought of Olivia, her eyes, her fight. He didn't want her pity, but he needed her help. Olivia stood on the mezzanine, the lobby below glowing. Daniel was there, toolbox open, fixing a vent. He didn't see her. He never did, but she saw him. His hands, his focus, his heart. She thought of Dr. Patel's promise, a review for Sophie's treatment. She thought of Reynolds. Weber, the board. The world was closing in, and Daniel was its center. Her phone buzzed. A voicemail from Weber. "Mrs. Carter. Let's talk. Harper's future is bright. With me. Don't stand in his way." She deleted it, her hands steady. Daniel wasn't going anywhere. Not if she could help it. But the cracks were spreading, and she didn't know how long she could hold them together. The Sterling Heights Hotel glowed under Chicago's twilight, its glass walls reflecting the city's pulse. Inside, The lobby was a quiet symphony-soft chatter. Clinking glasses, the fountain's gentle hum. July 1996 had settled into a restless rhythm, the heat still clinging but softer now. Like a memory, Daniel Harper moved through the basement. His toolbox, a familiar anchor, his boots steady on the concrete. The night shift stretched ahead, a maze of small fixes. A flickering bulb, a stuck door, a humming boiler, but his mind was elsewhere. Sophie's insulin pump, Weber's sharp smile, Olivia's quiet fight, the whispers of automation, Mia's resentment, Tom's warning they pressed in, a weight he couldn't shake. He checked the HVAC panel, its gauges steady. Sophie's face flickered in his thoughts, her grin, her rocket drawings, her brave eyes. Last night, her sugar had spiked, the pump beeping until he calmed it. He'd called the clinic today. The appeal was pending, a word that felt like a brick in his chest. $2,000. He had half. Maybe. Weber's card sat in his drawer, uncrumpled now, its promise a siren call. He pushed it away, focusing on the wires. Work, Sophie. That was enough. The radio crackled. Harper, you down there? Tom's voice, rough as gravel. Yeah, Daniel said, keying the mic. What's the call? Lobby. Fountains acting up. Guests are whining. Daniel exhaled, grabbing his tools. On it. The service elevator rattled, the air thick. He thought of Olivia's words in the meeting room. You're more than your job. On her eyes, warm but searching, had stayed with him. Why was she fighting for him? Pity. Duty. He didn't want either. He wanted to stay invisible for Sophie. The elevator dinged, and he stepped into the lobby, its marble gleaming under chandeliers. The fountain sputtered, water trickling unevenly. A few summit guests lingered nearby, murmuring in French and Japanese. Mia stood at the desk, her smile tight, her eyes flicking to him. Fountains clogged, she said. Clipped. Fix it fast. Daniel nodded, kneeling by the base. His hands worked wrench, filter, check valve. The guests watched, curious. A Japanese man, suit crisp, leaned closer. You are the one from before, he said, his English careful. You spoke to me. In my language. Daniel glanced up, nodding. Yes, seer. Just doing my job. The man smiled, small. It was more arigato. Daniel's chest warmed, but he kept working. The fountain gurgled, then flowed smooth. The guests clapped, soft. He stood, wiping his hands, and headed for the corridor. Mia's voice stopped him. Always the hero, huh? He turned, frowning. What's that supposed to mean? She crossed her arms. Her voice low. You're everywhere. Daniel, fixing, talking, getting noticed. Some of us just work. His jaw tightened. I'm not trying to stand out. Mia. Her eyes flashed. Tell that to Carter. She's got you on a pedestal. He exhaled. Sharp. I didn't ask for that. Didn't you? She said. Turning away, Daniel stood, rooted, her words a sting. He thought of Sophie, waiting at home. He didn't have time for this. He walked off. The toolbox heavy, Mia's gaze burning his back. Upstairs, Olivia Carter stood in her office. The skyline dark beyond her glass walls. Her tablet glowed with Reynolds' latest report. Automation Phase 1, Chicago pilot. Staff impact, 12 roles eliminated. Harper, Daniel. Severance recommended. Her fingers tightened on the edge of her desk. Severance, as if a check could replace Daniel's hands. His voice, his heart. She thought of the lobby, the Russian girl's tears drying, the guests' anger fading. Daniel wasn't a role. He was the hotel's soul. Her phone buzzed a voicemail from Dr. Patel. Missa. Carter. I've reviewed Sophia Harper's file. She's a strong candidate for the trial. I've expedited her review. Call me. Olivia's breath caught. A trial. For Sophie. She'd pulled strings. Quietly. Using her name, her network. Not for Daniel. For the girl she'd never met. Whose photo red balloon, bright smile haunted her. She dialed Patel. Her voice steady. Thank you. What's next? We need parental consent, Patel said. And records, if approved. She starts next month. Olivia nodded. Her heart racing. I'll ensure it's handled. She hung up, her hands trembling. She hadn't told Daniel, not yet. She didn't want his gratitude or his suspicion, but Sophie deserved this. And Daniel, he deserved to breathe. She thought of his eyes. Tired but kind, carrying a weight she couldn't fathom. She wanted to lighten it, just once. Her intercom buzzed. Ms. Carter, Mr. Weber's here, Jenna said. Nervous. Olivia frowned. I didn't schedule him. He insisted, Jenna said. Says it's about Harper. Olivia's stomach twisted. Weber. His smooth voice, his hungry eyes. She didn't trust him, but she needed to know his game. Send him in. Hans Weber entered. His suit tailored, his smile polished. Miss Carter, he said, sitting. Thank you for seeing me. Mr. Weber, she said. Cool. What's this about Daniel Harper? He leaned back, casual. A talent like his 7 languages. Steady hands. Calm under fire belongs in a bigger arena. My firm needs men who bridge worlds. I've offered him a role. Consulting. Global. Olivia's eyes narrowed. And he said, Weber's smile tightened. He's loyal to his daughter. To you, perhaps. But loyalty doesn't pay hospital bills. Her chest tightened. You've done your homework. I always do, he said, smooth. Harper's daughter, Sophia. Yes. Has medical needs. My firm offers premium insurance, flexible hours, a better life. For both. Olivia's hands clenched under the desk. And what do you want from me? Weber's eyes gleamed. Your blessing. Let him go. Or partner with us. Sterling Heights could expand. Globally. With Harper as our liaison. She stood, her voice iced. Daniel's not a pawn. And I don't play games. Weber chuckled. Standing. You already are, Mrs. Carter. You're fighting for him. Why? She didn't answer. Her heart pounding. Weber left. His card on her desk. She stared at it. Then tossed it in the trash. Daniel wasn't leaving. Not for Weber. Not for anyone. Daniel reached his apartment. The night air cool. Sophie was asleep. Her babysitter. Mrs. Ruiz. Knitting on the couch. She's good. Mrs. Ruiz said. Standing. Sugars were fine. Ate her carrots. Daniel smiled. Handing her cash. Thanks. Maria, you're a lifesaver. She patted his arm. You're doing fine. Mijo, get some rest. He locked the door, checking Sophie's room. Her curls spilled across the pillow, her pump glowing softly. He adjusted her blanket, his throat tight. $2,000. Weeks for the appeal. Weber's words echoed, good fathers want more. He shook it off. Sitting at the kitchen table, the insurance form stared back. A mountain he'd climb. For her. His phone buzzed, a text from Tom. Carter's pushing back on automation. Board's pissed. Watch your back. Daniel's gut churned. Olivia. Fighting for him. Why? He thought of her eyes, her voice, her question. You're more than your job. He didn't want her help, but he needed it. At dawn, he walked Sophie to school, her backpack bouncing. Dad, she said, you look tired. He grinned. Soft, just old. Bug, you good. Yep, she said. hugging him. Love you. Love you more, he said, watching her run inside, back home. He called the insurance company. The hold music grating. Still processing, the rep said. Flat. Call back next week. Daniel hung up, his hands shaking. He pulled Weber's card from the drawer, staring at it. Global Trade Solutions. Case Center he dialed. Then stopped, tossing the phone. No, he'd find another way. At Sterling Heights, Olivia met Reynolds in the boardroom. His face red, his tie loose. The board's done waiting, he said, slamming a folder down. Automation's greenlit. Chicago starts next quarter. Olivia's eyes were steel. And the staff, severance, he said, shrugging. Harper's on the list. Good guy. But numbers don't lie. She opened the folder, Daniel's name glaring. He's not just a number. Reynolds leaned forward, sharp. Olivia, you're losing focus. This is business, not charity. Her voice was low, dangerous. Get me guest impact data. Every review mentioning Harper. Now, Reynolds blinked. Stunned. You're serious. Deadly, she said. Standing. He left. Muttering, Olivia sat, her hands trembling. She thought of Sophie's photo. Daniel's sacrifice. She thought of her father, cold, distant, choosing profit over family. She wouldn't be him. Not today. Her phone buzzed. Dr. Patel. Mess up. Carter. Sophia's approved for the trial. Consent forms are ready. Have Mr. Harper call. Olivia exhaled, her heart soaring. Approved. She hadn't told Daniel. She couldn't. Not yet. It felt too big, too fragile. But Sophie had a chance. And Daniel, he'd know soon. Daniel's shift started at dusk, the hotel alive with summit guests. He fixed a light in the ballroom, the chandeliers gleaming. Weber was there, sipping wine, his eyes on Daniel. He raised the glass, smiling. Daniel turned away, his gut cold. In the basement, Tom clapped his shoulder. Carter's going to war for you. Kid, board's fighting back. Daniel frowned. War. Why? Tom exhaled. Grim, you're her cause. Don't know why, but she's all in. Daniel's chest tightened. I didn't ask for this. Doesn't matter, Tom said. You're in it. Daniel worked in silence. The wrench heavy, Olivia's fight, Mia's resentment, Weber's offer, they were a storm. And he was its center. He thought of Sophie, her pump, her laugh. He'd stay steady, for her. In the staff lounge, Mia sat with coworkers, their voices low. He's untouchable now, one said, smirking. Carter's pet, Mia frowned, stirring her coffee. He's not bad, just lucky. Lucky. Another scoffed. He's playing her. Bet he's got dirt. Daniel passed the door, catching their words. He kept walking, his jaw tight, playing her. He just wanted to work, to breathe. But the whispers were a noose, tightening. Olivia walked the hotel at midnight, the lobby dark, the fountain quiet. She passed the maintenance bay, Daniel's locker open. Sophie's photo smiled. Her balloon bright. Olivia's throat tightened. She thought of her mother, gone too young. Her father's absence. Daniel was different. Present. Real. She wanted to save him. But the board. Weber. The whispers, they were closing in. Her phone buzzed a text from Reynolds. Board meeting tomorrow. Automation's final. Be ready. She exhaled, her hands cold. She couldn't stall forever. But Daniel's face, Sophie's name made her want to try. She dialed Dr. Patel, her voice soft. Send the trial forms to me. I'll get them to Harper. You're sure? Patel asked. It's sensitive. I'm sure, Olivia said. Hanging up. She'd tell Daniel tomorrow. Face to face. No strings. No pity. Just truth. The next morning, Daniel tucked Sophie into bed. Her nap time sacred. Her pump beeped. Levels good. Dad, she said, sleepy. You're all serious again, he smiled. Brushing her curls. Just thinking. Bug, sleep tight. Love you, she mumbled. Eyes closing. Love you more, he said, kissing her forehead. In the kitchen, he sat. Weber's card staring back. He dialed, his heart pounding. Mr. Weber, he said, his voice low. It's Daniel Harper. Weber's voice was smooth. Daniel, I knew you'd call. I'm listening, Daniel said, his jaw tight. What's the offer? Consulting. Weber said, travel. Yes, but flexible. 6 figures, full insurance. Specialists for Sophia, a future. Daniel's chest ached. And the catch? Weber chuckled. No catch. Just loyalty. And a word with Mrs. Carter. She's protective. Daniel frowned. Carter. Why? She sees you. Weber said. Sly. More than she should. Convince her to partner with us. Sterling Heights goes global. You get a life. Daniel hung up, his hands shaking. Weber wanted Olivia and him. A game he didn't know how to play. He thought of Sophie, her pump, the bills. He thought of Olivia, her eyes, her fight. He didn't want to choose, but he might have to. At Sterling Heights, Olivia stood in the boardroom, Reynolds and the board starings. Automation's final, Reynolds said, his voice hard. Chicago starts in 90 days. Harper's out. Olivia's eyes were ice. Not without a fight. Guest reviews. Harper's name is in half. He's not replaceable. A board member, gray-haired, leaned forward. Mr. Carter. Sentiment doesn't pay dividends. Her voice was steel. Neither does losing trust. Guests want humans, not machines. Reynolds smirked. You're soft on him. Why? Olivia stood, sharp. Because he's what this place stands for. Heart. Service. Humanity. The room went quiet. Reynolds exhaled. Defeated. You've got 1 month. Prove he's worth it. She nodded. Leaving, her heart pounding. 1 month. She'd make it count. Outside, she found Daniel in the lobby. Toolbox open, fixing a light. He didn't see her. She watched. Her chest tight, his hands, his focus, his quiet strength. She walked over, her voice soft. Daniel, got a minute? He looked up, startled. Olivia, sure. She gestured to a quiet corner. I need to tell you something. About Sophie. His eyes narrowed. Cautious. What about her? Olivia exhaled, her hands steady. I spoke to a doctor, a trial. Immune therapy. She's approved. Starts next month. Daniel froze, his breath catching. What? How? I made a call, she said. Simple. No strings. Just a chance. His jaw tightened, his eyes searching hers. Why? Olivia. Why me? She met his gaze. Honest. Because you're enough. And she deserves more. Silence fell. Heavy but real. Daniel nodded. Slow, his throat tight. Thank you, she smiled. Faint. Don't thank me. Just keep being you, he nodded. Turning back to his work, Olivia watched him go. Her heart full. Her fear sharp. Weber, Reynolds. The board they were circling, but Daniel was worth it. And so was she. The Sterling Heights Hotel stood resolute against Chicago's July dusk, its glass facade glowing like a lantern in the city's heart. Inside, the lobby pulsed with life guests laughing, glasses clinking, the fountain's soft murmur weaving through it all. The global trade summit had ended, but the hotel's rhythm held steady, a testament to its enduring spirit. Daniel Harper moved through the basement. His toolbox, a quiet companion, his boots echoing on the concrete. The night shift loomed, a final stretch before a rare day off with Sophie. But the weight of the past weeks pressed heavy Weber's offer, Olivia's fight, the board's cold verdict, the whispers of automation. His hands were steady, but his heart was a storm. He checked the boiler, its hum grounding him. Sophie's trial approved. Thanks to Olivia felt like a lifeline. Consent forms were signed. The clinic ready. Her first session was weeks away, a hope that kept him moving. But the pump's cost still lingered. The insurance appeal stalled. Weber's card, now a shadow in his mind, promised relief. He'd hung up on him. But the words 6 figures, specialists. A future clung like damp air. He thought of Sophie's grin, her rocket drawings, her brave eyes. He'd stay steady. For her, the radio crackled. Harper. Lobby. Now, Tom's voice, urgent. Daniel frowned, keying the mic. What's wrong? Power surge. Lights flickering. Guests freaking out. Daniel grabbed his tools, his pulse quickening. Coming. The service elevator rattled. The air thick. He thought of Olivia's words in the lobby corner. You're enough. She deserves more. Her eyes, raw and real, had shaken him. Why was she risking so much? Her career, her reputation, for him. He didn't want her sacrifice, but he needed her strength. The elevator dinged, and he stepped into the lobby. Its chandeliers dimming, then flaring. Guests murmured, nervous. Mia stood at the desk, her face pale, her headset dangling. Daniel, she said, sharp. Fix it, fast. He nodded, moving to the electrical panel. His hands worked flip switches, check fuses, trace wires. The crowd grew restless. A British guest muttering, bloody unacceptable. Daniel stayed focused, his flashlight beam steady. He found the fault a tripped breaker, overloaded. He reset it, the lights stabilizing. The lobby exhaled, applause rippling. Daniel stood, wiping his brow, and headed for the corridor. Mia's voice stopped him. Always saving the day, huh? He turned, tired. Mia, I'm just working. Her eyes narrowed, soft but sharp. You're more than that now. Everyone knows it. He exhaled, his jaw tight. I didn't ask for this. She stepped closer, her voice low. But you're taking it. Carter's job's on the line because of you. Daniel froze, his chest tight. What? Mia's face softened, guilty. Board's pushing automation. She's fighting it. For you. People talk. Daniel, they think you're using her. His hands clenched, the toolbox heavy. I'm not. Mia nodded. Slow, maybe. But it looks that way. She walked off, leaving him rooted, using Olivia. The thought burned. He thought of Sophie, her trial, Olivia's quiet call to the doctor. He hadn't asked for any of it, but the whispers were a tide pulling him under, upstairs. Olivia Carter stood in her office, the skyline a canvas of stars beyond her glass walls. Her tablet glowed with the board's ultimatum. Automation Phase 1 begins in 30 days. Staff reductions finalized. Harper. Daniel. Terminated. And her fingers trembled. The words ablaid. Daniel. Terminated. The man who'd calmed a mob, fixed a crisis, carried Sophie's weight. She thought of his hands, his voice, his truth. I'm what she needs. But the dog, she wouldn't let them erase him. Her phone buzzed a voicemail from Dr. Patel. Mrs. Carter. Sophia's trial prep is set. She's doing well. Mr. Harper's grateful. Olivia's throat tightened. Grateful. She hadn't seen him since their talk. His eyes raw with thanks and fear. She didn't want his gratitude. She wanted him safe. She dialed Patel. her voice steady. Keep me posted. Anything she needs, let me know. She hung up, her heart racing. Sophie's trial was a light, but the board's shadow loomed. Reynolds had called earlier, his voice smug. You've got 1 week, Olivia. Prove Harper's worth it, or he's gone. She'd hung up, her resolve steel. She'd prove it, not just for Daniel. For the hotel, for herself. Her intercom buzzed. Miss O. Carter. Mr. Weber's back, Jenna said. Hesitant, Olivia's stomach twisted. Weber. Again. His smooth offer, his hungry eyes. She didn't trust him, but she needed to end this. Send him in. Hans Weber entered. His suit pristine, his smile ablaze. Miss Us. Carter, he said, sitting. You're a hard woman to sway. Mr. Weber, she said. Cold. Say your piece. He leaned back, casual. Daniel Harper. My offer stands. Consulting. Global reach. A life for his daughter. He's considering it. Did he tell you? Olivia's chest tightened, but her face stayed neutral. No. Weber's eyes gleamed. He called me. Hesitant, but tempted. A father's love is persuasive. Let him go. Olivia, partner with us. Sterling Heights goes worldwide, her hands clenched under the desk. Daniel's not yours to take, Weber chuckled. Low, he's not yours either. But you're fighting for him. Why? She stood, her voice ice. Because he's worth it. This hotel is people's, not profit. You wouldn't understand. Weber stood, his smile tight. You're sentimental. It'll cost you. He left, his card on her desk. Olivia stared at it, then tore it in half. Daniel, tempted. She didn't believe it, but the doubt crept in. A crack in her armor. She needed to see him. Now, Daniel reached his apartment. The night air cool. Sophie was asleep. Mrs. Ruiz dozing on the couch. Good night, she whispered. Leaving, Daniel checked Sophie's room, her curls soft. Her pump glowing. He adjusted her blanket. His throat tight. The trial was real now. A chance she deserved. Olivia had made it happen. He didn't know how to carry that debt. He sat at the kitchen table. Insurance papers a mess. The appeal was under review. A limbo he couldn't afford. Weber's words echoed. 6 figures. Specialists. He thought of Sophie's spikes. The hospital scares. He pulled the card from his drawer. Dialing. Weber, he said, his voice low. I need details. Weber's voice was silk. Daniel. Wise choice. Travel. Yes, but remote options. Full coverage for Sophia. Start next month. Daniel's chest ached. And Olivia, Weber paused. Sly. Convince her to partner. She trusts you. We all win. Daniel hung up, his hands shaking. Betray Olivia, the woman who'd saved Sophie's hope. No, but Sophie's needs were a fire, burning his resolve. He thought of Mia's words. You're using her. This was he. At dawn, he walked Sophie to school, her hand warm in his. Dad, she said, you're all quiet again. He smiled. Soft. Just thinking. Bug, you excited for the trial? Yep, she said, bouncing. Doctor, Patel's nice, said I'm brave. You are, he said, hugging her, braver than me. She grinned, running inside. Daniel watched, his heart full, his fear sharp, back home. He tackled the insurance call, the rep's voice a drone. Still pending, she said. Try next week. He hung up, his hands cold. Weber's offer was a lifeline. But at what cost? He thought of Olivia. Her fight, her eyes. He couldn't hurt her. But Sophie came first. At Sterling Heights, Olivia stood in the boardroom. Reynolds and the board staring. 1 week, Reynolds said, his voice hard. Harper's impact data. Deliver, or he's out. Olivia's eyes were steel. You'll have it. Every guest review, every crisis he solved, he's not replaceable. A board member, sharp-eyed, leaned forward. Miss Carter, you're risking your credibility. Why him? Her voice was steady. Because he's this hotel's heart. Lose him, we lose trust. Reynolds smirked. Sentimental. The board wants numbers. Then get them, she snapped. Standing, count the guests he saved. The PR he averted. Do your job. The room went quiet. Reynolds exhaled. Defeated. 1 week. Olivia left, her heart pounding. She'd bought time, but it was slipping. She found Daniel in the basement, toolbox open, checking a pipe. He didn't see her. She watched, her chest tight. His hands, his focus, his quiet strength. She walked over, her voice soft. Daniel. He looked up, startled. Olivia, everything okay? She nodded, hesitant. Can we talk? Somewhere quiet. He stood, wiping his hands. Sure. They walked to a storage room, its shelves lined with linens. Olivia closed the door, her heart racing. I heard from Weber. He said, you're considering his offer. Daniel's eyes widened, then darkened. I called him. For Sophie, but I didn't say yes. Her breath caught. Why didn't you tell me? He exhaled, raw. Because it's my fight, not yours. She stepped closer, her voice soft. It's ours, Daniel. I'm fighting for you. The board. Automation, they want you gone. I won't let them. His jaw tightened. Why? Olivia, why risk it? She met his eyes, honest. Because you're worth it, you and Sophie. You're what this place needs. Silence fell. Heavy, but real. Daniel nodded. Slow, his throat tight. I don't know how to thank you. Don't, she said, soft. Just stay? He nodded, his eyes raw. I'll try. She smiled, faint, and left, her heart full. Daniel watched the door close, his chest aching. Stay, for Sophie, for Olivia. But Weber's call lingered, a shadow he couldn't shake. That night, Daniel worked the boiler room, the heat pressing in. His radio crackled another call, a stuck elevator. He fixed it, the guest thanking him in Spanish. He replied, fluent, the words a reflex. In the staff lounge, Mia sat alone, her coffee cold. You're everywhere, she said, soft. Carter's fighting the board. For you, Daniel frowned. Leaning against the counter, I didn't ask her to. Mia's eyes were tired. Doesn't matter. It's happening. People think you're special. He exhaled, sharp. I'm not. I'm just a dad. Mia. Her face softened. Maybe, but you're her dad. That's enough. She left. Her words a quiet gift. Daniel stood, alone, his heart heavy. Sophie's trial. Olivia's fight. Weber's offer, they were a knot he couldn't untie. Olivia couldn't sleep. At 2 hours a.m., she walked the hotel. The lobby dark, the fountain silent. She passed Daniel's locker, Sophie's photo glowing. She thought of her father cold, absent, choosing power over love. Daniel was the opposite, present, real. She wanted to save him, but the board's deadline was a noose. Her phone buzzed a text from Reynolds. Guest data in. Harper's impact high, boards split. Push tomorrow. Olivia exhaled, her hands trembling. A chance. She'd take it. She dialed Weber. Her voice ice. Stay away from Daniel. He's not yours. Weber chuckled. Smooth. He's not yours either. Olivia. Let him choose. She hung up, her heart pounding. Daniel's choice. She trusted him. Didn't she? The next day, Daniel tucked Sophie into bed, her nap time sacred. Dad, she said, sleepy. You're all serious. He smiled, brushing her curls. Just thinking, bug. Love you. Love you more, she mumbled, eyes closing. He sat at the kitchen table, Weber's card staring back. He dialed, his voice low. Weber, I'm out. Sophie's my priority, not your game. Weber's voice was sharp. You're making a mistake. Daniel, maybe, he said, hanging up. He exhaled, free but fragile. Sophie's trial was enough. Olivia's fight was enough. He was enough. At Sterling Heights, the boardroom was tense, Reynolds pacing, the board watching. Olivia stood, her tablet open, guest reviews glowing. Daniel Harper, she said, her voice clear. 57 reviews name him. He saved the summit, averted PR disasters, built trust. Automation can't do that. A board member frowned. Impressive. But costs are nothing without trust. Olivia cut in. He stays. Or I walk. The room went silent. Reynolds blinked, stunned. Olivia, you can't. I can, she said. Steal. Choose. The board whispered, then nodded. Harper stays. For now. Olivia exhaled, her heart soaring. She'd won. For Daniel. For Sophie. For herself. She found him in the lobby, toolbox open. Fixing a vent. Daniel, she said, soft. He looked up, tired but warm. Olivia, she smiled. Raw, you're staying. The board backed down. His eyes widened, then softened. Thank you. She shook her head. You did this. Your work. Your heart. He nodded, his throat tight. And you. Silence fell. A bridge between them. Olivia stepped closer. There's something else. I want you and Sophie to come to dinner. My place. Tomorrow. Daniel blinked, startled. Dinner. She smiled. Soft. Just us. Thank you. From me. He nodded, slow. Okay. Sophie'll love it. She laughed. Light. Good. See you then. The next evening, Daniel and Sophie walked to Olivia's condo, a sleek high-rise overlooking Lake Michigan. Sophie clutched a rocket drawing, her pump clipped to her dress. Is she nice? She asked, nervous. The nicest, Daniel said, smiling. Olivia opened the door, her blazer gone, her hair loose. Sophie, she said, kneeling. Is that a rocket? Yep, Sophie said, beaming. For you. Olivia took it, her eyes warm. It's perfect. Come in. The table was set pasta, salad, juice for Sophie. They ate. Sophie chattering about Mars, Olivia listening. Her smile real. Daniel watched, his heart full. Olivia wasn't a CEO here. She was human, warm. After dinner, Sophie drew on the balcony, the city glowing below. Olivia and Daniel stood by the railing, wine in hand. She's amazing, Olivia said. Soft. She is, Daniel said, his eyes on Sophie. Thank you. For the trial. For everything. Olivia met his gaze. Raw. You're worth it. Daniel. You both are. He nodded, his throat tight. So are you. Their hands brushed. A spark. They stood. Quiet. The city alive below. Sophie ran over, hugging them. Can we come back? She asked. Grinning. Olivia laughed, ruffling her hair. Anytime. Kiddo. Weeks later. The hotel hummed, its rhythm steady. Daniel led a new program, multicultural training. His languages a bridge. The board watched, grudgingly impressed. Olivia stood on the mezzanine, her eyes on Daniel below. He didn't see her, but she saw him. Always. At home. Sophie drew a new picture, a hotel on the moon. 3 figures, hand in hand. Us, she said, pointing. You. Me. Olivia. Daniel smiled, his heart full. Yeah, bug. Us. They walked to the lake. The sunset gold. Olivia joined them, her hand in Daniel's. Sophie skipping ahead. The world was theirs, quiet, steady. Enough, and in its light, they shone. Wow. Thank you all for joining Daniel, Sophie, and Olivia's story. Every listen and comment is huge motivation for me to keep sharing heartfelt stories. Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you think. Catch you next time for more journeys where kindness and connection shine bright. Stay awesome.